You heard the cry of our hearts, and you came down. Freely you gave us your love. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is darkness, let me shine light. And may your love cause us to open up, cause us to open. Shine so bright that we bring hope into the dark.
We come together to seek God, trusting that God is seeking us with open arms. All are welcome here. No matter our doubts or questions, where we come from, or who we love, even in the chaotic seasons of life, we are loved by God. All are welcome here. We believe that everyone is a child of God. Every age, race, gender, identity, and creed. All are beautifully and colorfully made and of sacred worth. All are welcome here. We affirm that God is a good God who lifts the oppressed, loves the vulnerable, and is open to all. So we choose to have open hearts, open minds, and open doors to God and to each other. All are welcome here.
Hello and welcome to this Gathering of Open, the first of 2021. We are so glad to be joining with you today, this year. You are welcome here. I'm Pastor Jonathan Perry, and this is Open, coming safely today from Open, from our homes to join with you in your home. It means so much to us right now to be able to connect with you in community in this way. You are welcome here. So today, amidst everything from our homes and lives and stories, we come together to seek God, to seek to follow God in our world in this time, seeking to listen and learn from each other and from the heart of God together, joining in the loving work of the God of justice and joy and peace. So to center our hearts around that today, we've got some friends who are going to lead us in our liturgy this morning. They'll be leading us in words that are simple, but they are profound. That wherever you are, wherever you find yourself this day, in the heart of God, in the love of this community, all are welcome here. So let's lift this up together, friends.
We come together to seek God, trusting that God is seeking us with open arms. All are welcome here.
No matter our doubts or our questions, where we come from or who we love, even in the chaotic seasons of life, we are loved by God. All are welcome here.
We believe that everyone is a child of God. Every age, race, gender, identity, ability, and creed.
All are beautifully and colorfully made and of sacred worth. All are welcome here.
We affirm that God is a good God who lifts the oppressed, loves the vulnerable, and is open to all.
So we choose to have open hearts, open minds, open arms, and open doors to God and to each other. All are welcome here.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Open Worship this morning. We are so glad that you are gathered with us from your homes today. At this time, we'd like to invite you to pop on over to opendtx.com/sign in to let us know that you're gathered with us today. Even if you've done it before, this just helps us get a clearer picture of who all is here. If you are new here or haven't commented before, say hello in the comments. We would love to meet you. And now let's greet each other and let it be known that all are welcome here.
Darkness runs for cover.
Hi friends, my name is Crystal, and with me today I have my friends Brandon and Clay and Dave and Kelly, and we are your worship leaders this morning. We just want you to know that whoever you are, whatever your story or identity is, God's love is here for you, and so are we. Let us continue to worship together. God renews and refreshes our souls and lives, and we are invited into this renewing work of the Spirit. I don't know about y'all, but I need some renewal. I could really use a refresh. As we sing this song together, take a moment to breathe deeply and consider what needs to be renewed in your life. With all of the hustle and bustle of the last month, maybe it's been a minute since you've had a chance to reflect in this way, to slow down long enough to consider what needs to be renewed. Today, we're taking this opportunity to slow down, hit the refresh button, and ask God to renew in us what needs to be renewed. As we sing or listen to this song, we also invite you to share any prayer requests that you may have in the comments so that we can lift them up together in prayer.
Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Help my heart to hear your sound. Speak into my life, Lord, speak now. into my life. Lord, speak now. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down.
Hi, friends. It's great to be with you. I mean, it's really great because we made it to 2021, friends. We made it. And we remember there is hard work ahead. And we remember, especially now, places of hurt and those who are hurting. Remember those who are working and laboring right now, and we lift them up. But for a moment together amidst that work, we stop and allow a little fist pump or celebration shimmy or whatever you do to mark the occasion with tenacious hope and rebellious gratitude. So dust yourself off and adjust your crown. We are here right now, and that is something worth celebrating. So we begin a new series that fits this day called Refresh. Because one, I think my soul needs that refresh right now. But also, as I was joking with Crystal, because it kind of feels like life needs a refresh button. Just Command R this thing and start the year with a page refreshed. Unfortunately, there's no real life refresh buttons. There's easy buttons, yes, but refresh buttons, no. But there are moments that we can seize and choices that we can make, intentions we can set. There are things that we can do to refresh our souls, to renew, to recenter, and start fresh. For me right now, it's refreshing just to show up with you, to choose to be together and center our hearts on love together. It is refreshing and restoring to be with you. And right now, it's very refreshing to see people begin to get the COVID vaccine, including friends and those who are vulnerable or those who are serving with all they have on the front line. This moment and all that have worked to get us this far give us refreshed hope that we will come through this. There will be a new day, thanks to the courageous love of scientists, healthcare workers who've been serving, and all of you who are masking up and doing what it takes to help us stay safe and well. Thank you. We will come out of this. So a question to consider is, how do we want to come out of this? How can we come out with a refreshed vision for who we are, for what matters, for the power and call of love and love for neighbor in our world? How can we use this time so we come out refreshed? As we begin a new year, I was thinking back on a quote we shared together at the beginning of this journey, brought to our community by Casey Cavalier, that set our hopes at the beginning of the journey. The quote goes like this: "When the dust settles, we will realize how very little we need, how very much we have, and the true value of human connection." I want to come out the other side with a refreshed vision of that. Because we've learned that the very much we have is in part the very much of each other, of all of us in this together. The very much of those who are working nurses and doctors and teachers and social workers, food service workers, public servants, small business owners, creators and creatives, those who are willing to stand for each other and especially for the causes of justice and shalom in our world, and you and us together. In our human connection is so much, in you is so much, and in the hope of God with us is so very much that we already have. Now, there have been times when we felt like we haven't had enough on this journey, and perhaps, yes. But also, from a certain point of view, we've had enough every step of the way, when we see that our enough includes the divine with you, the hope that buoys you, the community that holds you and holds faith with you when you can't hold it alone, and simply the sacred wholeness of you. Every step of this journey, we've had enough. And so to come out the other side with a refreshed view of that, we need to choose to hit refresh. So over the next few weeks, we'll look at that. Look at refreshed practices, refreshed focus, refreshed kindness, refreshed vision of justice and joy and peace, refreshing And that word refresh is a powerful word for us. The word refresh appears in our scripture library as the Greek word anapano, which means refresh, restore, revive, rest. It means taking a moment to catch your breath, catch yourself, catch your life again. And the word is connected with not just rest, but with Sabbath rest. Like in Exodus 23:12, when all the strata of society are called to let each other find rest and delight, to find each other and themselves, to refresh. Sabbath rest is an intentional time to disconnect from the patterns and pressures of this world and to connect with God and yourself, each other, to connect with your life and with life itself and with delight. That rebellious, tenacious spirit that claims joy in the midst of it all, that chisels joy out of life's hard rock quarry. Refresh, revive, rest, resolve, recenter, refresh. It's a powerful word, which makes me hear one place that Jesus used it in a little bit different light. The place I'm thinking of is, we find it in an account of Jesus' life that we call Matthew chapter 11. Jesus had been interacting with the scribes and Pharisees, the religious leaders and power brokers of his day, folks who used often religion, economic, social power, and pressure, not for the common good, but to keep power for themselves by pitting neighbors against each other and themselves, with fear and division, feelings of social supremacy, with religious rules. It was a lot, and it was heavy. Perhaps it weighed like 2020 that's had its own heaviness. And so to those who felt weighed down and pushed around under that heaviness, Jesus offers this amazing, freeing, liberating invitation. He says this, "Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Anapano. I will give you refreshment, rest, restoration. And he continues, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." It's an invitation to come find rest. Come find rest for your souls. Offered not with expectation and pressure, but with gentle and humble invitation. Imagine the heart of God speaking that to you. Friend, come find rest for your souls. That's the invitation of the divine, to come learn in the way of Jesus, to draw near the gentle and humble heart of God, to seek not achievement or accolade first, but to seek first the way of the God of love, of life, of justice, joy, and peace, who refreshes, and who is making all things new, us included. So I'm going to offer today 2 practical ways to take divinity up on that invitation. But first, I want to emphasize that this is an invitation that brings refreshment. It's one that Jesus says is easy and light. It is full of grace every step of the way. And here's what Jesus means. That idea of a yoke was a metaphor that came from the working of oxen. And many of the rabbis of the day, many scribes and Pharisees, adopted that metaphor for their teaching. To follow a rabbi meant to take their yoke upon your shoulders. And Jesus would later describe the kind of yoke that the religious leaders of the day offered people. Scribes and Pharisees, he said, tie up heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on the shoulders of others, but they themselves are unwilling to lift a finger to move them. Oftentimes, that yoke was a heavy burden. And perhaps you've experienced that from religion in the past, that used the weight of shame or hierarchy or inhuman expectation to control and weigh down. But Jesus clearly says that is not God's way. God's way, God's invitation is gentle and humble. It leads to refreshment and life in our souls. It bears good fruits. And every step of the way, it's an invitation, not an insistence, but an invitation to the way that leads to life. And on our journey, when we stumble or we need to stay still for a few breaths, there is nothing but grace and a God who loves us always, especially in the unsteady steps. And there's always, in the love of God, the possibility of a fresh next step forward. This is an invitation, however we can answer it, to life, to ourselves, to our souls, to our God, to refreshment. And so how can we take up divinity on that invitation? There's many ways to answer that question, but I want to offer us just two small practices today. And the first is this: it's literally to rest. Here's what I mean. I remember in seminary, my covenant group was supposed to read a book on spiritual practices called The Good and Beautiful God, Falling in Love with the God Jesus Knows. And so I'm thinking, oh wow, this is huge. I'm going to learn to pray and meditate and experience these big God things. And the first section is called soul training. And so excitedly, I open up chapter 1, ready to train, and it says, sleep. I'm like, wait, what? One, we're in grad school. So, seriously, sleep. Little did I know what would be coming later as a parent. But seriously, sleep is step one. And the author goes on to talk about how we sleep, on average, almost 3 hours less each night than 250 years ago. That modern life is pushing us, and it has holistic effects on us. The human person is not a soul dualistically housed in a body. Our souls and bodies are unified. Everything we do, even the most spiritual, big God things imaginable, we do in and with and through our bodies. Rest for our body is rest for our soul. And I know it seems a pipe dream and maybe a privilege to rest, but amidst everything, to claim yourself in this world, wherever, whenever you can, even if it's just 15 minutes here, it's an act of sacred importance because it honors the you that God so deeply loves. And it's part of the balance of how our soul works. Slowing down is the way our soul works. As the theologian Robert Barron writes, the deepest part of the soul likes to go slow, since it seeks to savor rather than to accomplish. It wants to rest in and contemplate the good rather than hurry off to another place. Jesus found that soul balance, contemplation and action, rest and labor, because he knew who he was through and through, and that balance and rhythm enabled him to be himself with all he was, body and spirit. He invites us to find that same rhythm in the unity of ourselves, so that we might gain strength to act in wisdom amidst the hustle and bustle of a busy world. Because when we can slow down, what we hear is that spirit whisper to the depth of our souls that we are loved. And then we begin to reflect that empowering, refreshing love of Christ that is within us and become a little more the kind of people this fraught and frazzled world most needs, people whose love and life brings refreshment. Refresh is a powerful word and a powerful action. But it all begins with that simple invitation that Jesus invites us to take him up on. Come to me, he says, all of you, weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Refreshing, reviving, recentering. So take Jesus up on it this week. Maybe just 15 minutes or an hour this week. Slow down, quiet down, power down, and rest in the presence of a God who loves you, who delights in you, who enjoys you. And let that love refresh your soul. And maybe try to get a good night's sleep one night this week. I'm going to try. I'm in it with you, friends. We're in this together. So the second thing is this. Find something that fits you and do it. Here's why I say that. Jesus' invitation, remember, said this: take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. That yoke, that way of Jesus we are seeking, Jesus says, is easy. That word we translate easy comes from this Greek word that is that from that metaphorical yoke in oxen work again. And it means something more like this: my yoke fits you well. It's well-fitting. It fits you. It's made for you. The way of Jesus, the way of refreshment, fits you. It is for you and made for you. And I find this just beautiful when I stop to think about it, because there's so much in life, expectations, pressures, so much in religion, old rules and regulations that were made for some other human reason. And sometimes they don't fit us. They don't bring real life to your real life. But Jesus says, my way of life fits you. It's made for you to bring you life. God made you and formed you, calls you beautifully and colorfully made of sacred worth in all your uniqueness and idiosyncrasies and inside jokes. This life is made for you. It fits. And it's made for you right now, right where you are, but it's also made to help you become even more who you truly are. This fits to the depth of your soul and brings you rest, refreshment, recentering, real life for you, for your authentic soul. Brene Brown says this of God's invitation to authentic life: authenticity is the daily practice of letting go who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are, embracing what fits. And all this means so much for all of us who've wondered if we fit in. And God says, no. It's not about fitting yourself into something else. You perfectly fit in, and this way fits you perfectly. My way of love and life, the gentle invitation to follow, is for your soul. So take the next step in love for God and neighbor and yourself as yourself, authentically. As we start this year, I just want to invite you to start by finding something that fits, something you can do that helps you recenter and refresh and find rest and renewal for your soul. Something. Just start with one thing that fits you and do it with sacred importance. Maybe it's a little moment of meditation or prayer that fits. Maybe it's exercise that works for you. Maybe it's a cup of coffee on your balcony or a song in your car on the way to work that fits, that helps you recenter, refresh, rest, and renew your readiness to walk the way of love that leads to life. Find a way to serve that fits. Find a way to give back and reach out in a way that fits. Find a way to be, to rest, to do, to grow, to create, to love that fits you, and do it. In the midst of everything, carve out space to answer love's invitation. Friends, there is much work that lies ahead for us in this year, but it's the work of love, and it begins by answering love's invitation to come and find and follow and find the love that is with you every step of your journey and see the refreshment that God brings to your soul. Take a moment in the day to rest and recenter with intention, and find something this week that fits and brings life to yourself and others, and do it. This week, my son Hudson asked me what we were talking about this week, and so I told him. I gave him the 2-minute version of this, and he listened. And then he asked if he could make something for us together. And this is what he brought. And I said, what is that? And Hudson explained. He said, this is light, and this is the universe, and this block is everyone and all creatures. And this is you, and this is God. And when you put them all together, universe, light, all creation, yourself, and God, you get you, the person. And I just looked at him and smiled, kind of blown away, and said, thank you. Because that's it. The invitation is to come to the God who fits all those things together in a way that fits us, that is us. May you carve out space to answer that gentle, humble invitation of the God who loves you and who brings all of you, light in the universe, all of us, and you together. And then, with a refreshed soul, love with all you have. And all together, all of these pieces fit together by God. It is more than enough. May our souls find refreshment, and may we, with all we are and all the enough that we have, love in a way that refreshes the world. Amen.
Hey, church family. My name is Crystal, and I'd like to share an upcoming opportunity to connect here at the church. We're continuing to offer our weekly community Bible study online on Wednesdays at noon. Join Pastor Jonathan this Wednesday, January 6th, for a continued conversation on Revelations. All are welcome. We also want to say thank you for the ways that you've stayed connected during this last year, and we are so looking forward to a new year and a fresh start with our church family.
Thank you, Crystal and friends. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you for being people who answer that invitation of God's love authentically with all you are and help others do the same. May you know God's love, hear God's call, and experience the empowerment of God and community together. We want to continue to thank you for the ways that you're supporting this community with deep love and care and generosity. Each week, you can go to support this community at opendtx.com/give to support this place that is a beacon of good for me, a refreshment for so many. Thank you. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, let us know you're here at opendtx.com/sign-in. It helps us whenever you watch to get a good picture of this community and stay connected to each other. There's also a place there that you can leave a prayer request that we will lift up together. Thank you so much for signing in and doing that. So now, as you go into the world, into your neighborhoods, moving forward together in love this year, take these words of hope and benediction with you as you go until we meet again. Friends, may you know how much you are loved. May that recenter you and your soul authentically. May you find refreshment for your life this week and in the journey to come toward love and beloved community together. So friends, go forth this week as ambassadors of love and life and liberation. Run this race and press on with love as our refreshing center. Let's create something beautiful and life-giving together. Go in peace, go in grace, go in refreshment, and go in the love of God always. Amen.